My name is Shannon Blocker, and I am a student in Diagnostic Criteria for Plant Nutrition. In this lesson, I will discuss Septoria leaf spot of tomato and its symptoms, cultural control, and labeled fungicides. The fungal disease Septoria leaf spot is one of the most common tomato diseases. The disease can occur any time during the growing season, but generally becomes more severe after blossom set. The fungus survives the winter in plant debris, on seeds, or on weeds such as nightshade and horse nettle. In the spring and summer, spores of these fungi can be splashed or blown onto tomato leaves. Spore production is abundant when the temperatures are between 60 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Relatively warm temperatures, abundant rainfall, and high relative humidity favor disease development. Septoria leaf spot can cause extensive defoliation, resulting in sun scalding of fruit and reduction in yield. Symptoms of Septoria leaf spot first appear as small water-soaked spots on the older leaves nearest the ground. The infection moves up the plant as the season progresses. Spots enlarge to a uniform size of approximately 1/16 to 1/4 of an inch in diameter. Eventually, the center portion of the Septoria lesion turns light tan or gray, while the margin remains dark. Yellow halos are often surrounding the spots. The leaf spots or lesions generally are smaller and more numerous than the spots resulting from early blight. Here you'll see early blight on the left and Septoria leaf spot on the right. Small black fruiting structures called pycnidia of the fungus are readily visible with a 10x hand lens, and they form in the center portion of the lesion. Heavily infected leaves may scorch and wilt, giving the plant the appearance of a wilt disease. This slide illustrates how the disease looks on the top side of the leaf as well as on the underside of the leaf. Sanitation measures in the fall reduce the amount of inoculum available for infection the following year. In the fall, deep plow tomato plants to bury tomato debris, or remove and destroy dead plants. Avoid planting tomatoes in the same area of the garden year after year. Rotate tomatoes with cereals, corn, or legumes. A 4-year rotation is recommended where the disease has been severe. Clean seed and healthy transplants in the spring help control the disease. To reduce humidity and leaf wetness, avoid overhead irrigation. To improve airflow, use staking and appropriate plant spacing. To prevent rain splash, use mulch. And avoid composting diseased plant material. There are no resistant cultivars of tomato available for Septoria leaf spot control. Start with the cultural practices described earlier to prevent and/or control the disease. However, fungicides labeled for control of Septoria leaf spot of tomato are available. For best results, begin application as soon as the symptoms become apparent. Remember that pesticide labels change frequently, and it is the responsibility of the user to follow all label instructions. The 4 active ingredients available to homeowners for Septoria control are Bacillus subtilis, chlorothalonil, copper, and manneb. Chlorothalonil and manneb have formulations available to commercial growers and therefore have a greater number of efficacy trials. Fungicides labeled for control of Septoria leaf spot by commercial growers are taken from the publication Midwest Vegetable Production Guide for Commercial Growers 2013. I have included the fungicide group number for those listed on the product label using the CDMS agrochemical database in the table. These fungicides all have the group M fungicide, with the exception of Xerum, which did not list its group number on the product label. Groups for fungicides relate to their mode of action. Knowing the fungicide group can be important in preventing or limiting fungicide resistance. If a producer uses the same group of fungicide repeatedly in a season and/or over several years, they are increasing the likelihood that a fungus population resistant to that mode of action will be developed. Strains of the fungus that cause early blight that are resistant to Group 11 fungicides have been observed in Indiana. This slide and the following one include Group 11 fungicides. Alternating sprays is important in order to delay the development of resistant strains of Septoria leaf spot to azoxystrobin. In commercial plantings, chlorothalonil and manib can be rotated with the systematic fungicide azoxystrobin every 7 days. Producers can also tank mix Group 11 fungicides with products that have a different mode of action. Fungicides listed on this slide are commercially available premixes. So in summary, Septoria leaf spot is a common disease caused by the fungus resulting in numerous small spots occurring on leaves. Cultural best management practices can help limit disease pressure, including crop rotation and weed control. Fungicide control is available for both the homeowner and the commercial grower. References used in this presentation are listed here. Photo credits are listed here as well as on the slides where they are used. This ends my presentation on Septoria leaf spot.